and this started with, I can't pinpoint exactly where it started with, but in soccer, we started having American tours for teams all the time. And a real reason why they wanted to do these tours in the first place is because the importance of the last true sporting frontier for soccer, which is the United States. If you can be the team that captures the most eyes in America, that's the last real gold mine worth mining. So I find that, and people like Adam Silver, like Gary Bettman, like Roger Goodell, they see these international leagues and their impacts and what they can do on those scales. That's why we have the in-season tournament in the NBA now. Adam Silver said, it'd be fun, an FA Cup. So let's just have an FA Cup. So they see what these other leagues are doing and they're just like, hey, it'd be cool. How do we expand a sport that does well financially, but just does well financially domestically? Like the NFL is still the most profitable sports league on the planet. But Roger's like, but what if we just had other people hang out with us too? What if the rest of the world caught the fever for American football like we did? How big of a league could we possibly be? And I'm a capitalist. I'm an American.
Yep.
I love that idea.
Yep.
I love that idea. So I think us expanding the game, same thing with sending college football to Ireland. Let the other people see why we enjoy what we enjoy. And see if it hits.
So Adam Booth coming through, just making sure the stream sounds good. Everyone's giving me a thumbs up on that. A lot of people watching. If you're hearing anything echo, please let us know in the comment section. And then unfortunately, I snapped our camera that Adam is normally featured on. So I apologize. So now you just get Adam chin up.
It's a good look though.
Chin up, Adam.
You don't want it anyway. Nope.
Well, it's actually more of the roof, but we'll play around with it.
We'll work with it. We'll work with it.
Hello. Yeah, there you go. Oh, no, that's lovely.
There's no way this is gonna hold.
Oh, okay.
But everyone can at least see the full picture for a couple seconds.
We'll play with it during the commercial break. But
exactly,
you sound great as always.
Thank
All
you,
right, we will definitely get into that conversation because I think it's one that, as you said, there's other tentacles that are clearly coming off of this discussion, but at the same time, the almighty dollar does control all. And I really do believe the one deal breaker in all of this, and it's really right there in front of us to see it and to understand it. Of course, if you're one of these people that realize, playing your game globally on that stage, it's obviously going to be beneficial for your pockets. But there are other people out there that are just really, to the point, I guess, somewhat confused, but I really, at the end of the day, it comes back to dollars and cents.
Look, I mean, when they sent the NBA to Japan, right? They spent, I think it was like the Washington Wizards played the Boston Celtics in a game in Japan. And when I was over in Japan, they still had paraphernalia from those games still around. And it was like, that's big. These guys, there are so many of these markets that love our sports that we can't even begin to have discussions about. Like it shocked people when I told people that American football is played in Sicily pretty regularly. Actually, they have miniature leagues all over Italy. They have leagues all over many countries that are playing American football inside soccer. So like Palermo had a team that played in their old velodrome. Outdoor bicycle stadium. They put this inside of it. They built an entire football pitch, and that's what they were rocking, and like the potential for this game to expand. Same thing with basketball. Same thing with I tell people the greatest export we might have done might not even be baseball. It might be basketball. We sent basketball to all corners of the world, and everyone ate it up. Case in point, the World Baseball Classic. You look at Israel's team, for instance.
Okay.
80% of those guys are from America. You look at the Italian national team for the World Baseball Classic. 65% of those guys are from America. I think one of those guys is from Morocco. The game is global, but it's still concentrated so much in the United States, where the World Cup of basketball, these guys are authentically from these nations all over the world. There's not that many people who are double dipping. There's just these guys who are like, I was born and raised in France, and now I'm very good at basketball. And I think that shows how well we've exported the NBA on a global scale.
Absolutely.
And Roger wants that.
Yes. Yeah.
He wants that.
100%. I would love to see the devil's in the details. Of course, I'd love to see the breakdown, but there is no doubt in my mind that these owners are not signing off on this idea.
Yeah.
If it wasn't like, hey, yes, this is what we expect, but oh, by the way, here's the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we're able to just get it going in these other regions of the world, you just don't know what will come to your bank account. And that's what it comes down to, in my short-sighted opinion, I guess. But the almighty dollar controls all.
Look, if you can find a way for this to short-term give you monetary gain, or even if you take a loss on this, even if you say, I'm going to lose a gate because I lost a home game because we went to Sao Paulo. You're not going to get one home. Like, let's say for whatever team, it's the same way the Jacksonville Jaguars say, I'm going to lose a gate every time I go to London. The end game, though, is so much greater.
Absolutely.
The end game of expanding the Jaguars' presence in London, where now they're London's favorite football team. That's worth Jacksonville losing a game a year in the global scale of the NFL.
One more on this, since we just dove into it right here from the jump. And again, get involved in the conversation. Because now everyone is worried about the safety. And I know it's real. But 100%. My question to you is, and this is probably, geography is not my strength, as you well know.
Yeah.
But they had a World Cup there. They've had big events in Brazil.
Yeah, they had an Olympics there in 2016.
Okay. So, like, people were able to do whatever they wanted there. And at that point in time, why all of a sudden now am I hearing about don't wear green?
Yeah.
And is it on a different side of the country as far as Brazil is concerned?
No. So Sao Paulo is their largest city. There's, I believe, 15 million people in Sao Paulo. It's one of the biggest cities on the planet Earth. Ironically, it is, from what I know, one of the more boring cities on the planet Earth. Like, most people were saying they were going to go stay in Rio, fly to Sao Paulo, and go back to Rio to have a fun time.
And Rio is where the World Cup
was. Yeah. Well, I mean, where the Olympics was, and the station of, because the World Cup obviously is all over the country. But ultimately, Sao Paulo is it is a place where it can get hairy. It's not a situation where I'm not sitting here naive saying we're just being, xenophobic and being like, hey, it's a country of other peoples. We're afraid of that.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily the case. But at the same time, caution. Obviously, caution is always taken. And look, if you remember the caution everyone took around the freaking Paris Olympics, and Paris is not necessarily the first place everyone's like, oh man, something might go down. But the amount of counterterrorism, the amount of police presence, what they had in Paris, from what I was told from people who went to those games, was incredible. And I can't imagine that, again, the most profitable sports league on earth is going to put not only just the Packers, but the fourth most profitable team in their entire league, the Philadelphia Eagles, at risk.
Yeah.
Fans
and everything. It just would be such a
unmitigated disaster.
Correct. First game of the season. That's why, in my point of view right now, if I could just, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it because I think it's wrong for you to take away these two franchises in a home game. First of all, it's Green Bay, right? I don't have to tell you about Lambeau Field. And here in Philadelphia, of course, we're pretty passionate about our Philadelphia Eagles. So I don't need to go down that road. I am against it. I am not a fan of it, but I understand it. However, on the flip side, I just wish that people would be as where I'm at to say, let's see how it works out. Instead, you get, of course, the players are speaking to Dom, and this is all real and it's all factual, and I get it. They spoke today at the press conference, and they're not a fan of flying to Brazil to play this game. Understood. Creatures of habit, professional athletes, body is your temple. Now you want me to get on a flight and go play my first game in Brazil? Come on, there's a lot of money on the line for these guys. That's understood. But now like, I can't leave the hotel, and just all this coming with this conversation. It's just, let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it views on television. Get home. Nobody has any issues. And then we can go on about our business. Bring on week 2.
I'm here for it, but look, as a fan, I don't want it. But as a person who understands the nature of the business, it makes sense. All
right. So now that we moved off of that, first of all, the Eagles and Packers, 8 days away, baby. Yeah, we're a week away from football getting started. 1 week away. Next Thursday, we will have the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens, and that is a great game to get the season started right into the Eagles, streaming on Peacock, obviously NBC 10 as well here locally, and then a jam-packed weekend of action Sunday, top to bottom. Great game on Sunday Night Football between the Rams and the Detroit Lions. Really looking forward to, of course, week one, as we all are. Until then, though, we have some other things to keep us occupied, and specifically a pretty good baseball team that just got absolutely boat raced yesterday.
Shellacked.
Good grief. All right, so Taijuan Walker, Adam Boots, you're a big-time Philadelphia sports fan across the board, diehard Phillies fan. You know a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to all these teams. You pay attention to the numbers, the contracts, all of that. So where are you at with this discussion as far as we know his ability, lack thereof, at this point in time of his career?
Yeah.
But they continue to march him out there. Now, I don't believe he will be back out there again for the Phillies. Taijuan Walker getting a start this year. Understood. I understand why he did, because of the money, and maybe there's something coming from the top down. I don't know. In your mind, why the hell did Taijuan Walker pitch yesterday?
I will whisper this gently into the microphone just in case anyone doesn't recognize and miss me. We don't have the pitching depth to really not have him pitch.
That's it. You don't think?
Really it. I mean, what has been the guys who've been your spot starters? You've had Tyler Phillips have the game of his life, and then about 3.5 starts that probably weren't that good.
Yep.
You had Machado that came in yesterday. He was god awful in his relief start. He spot started a couple of times. You know, you don't have Mick Apel ready. You don't have Andrew Painter. He's still out until next training.
Young guns, yeah.
Even though I've heard he looks good. Like, he's starting to throw fastballs and changeups. So Painter looks good. He's somewhere, I think in Clearwater or somewhere, starting his rehab.
Okay.
But you don't, like, Christopher Sanchez emerging into the person that he is a godsend for you.
Going tonight, too.
Because you did not have the pitching depth.
Fair.
Like, you really did. But two things. Ranger Suarez, who's looking to see like he's getting back to himself a little bit too. Both of him and Christopher Sanchez are pitching years of their lives. And if without them, you're having a different conversation with this Phillies team. So look, Walker's cooked. I don't think this is a hard sell. I'm not one to blast a player. I'm always objective when I talk about these guys because I know they're humans, their personalities and all that. He's not good at Major League Baseball. Could he be good at AAA baseball? Might possibly, but he's not good at at the major league level right now. Do you put him in the bullpen? Possibly, because if you can get 2 innings out of him, because he can do that. He did it yesterday. He had 2.5 solid innings, and then the third inning kind of went.
And he said that he wanted to get back out there because he understood the big picture and not, roast the bullpen.
Exactly, and he did. He saved a couple. And look, games like that is also one of these things. In a 162 scenario, you burn the tape and you move on. No one's going to remember this game in a couple of months. We'll just remember we took 2 out of 3 from the Astros, which is good. That is ultimately, if you tell me going into the series, you're going to take 2 out of 3 of the Astros after you've been struggling that way. I have a confidence about the Phillies that I didn't have a couple of days ago because of that series. And that last game, look, it gets away from you. I'm in a rookie pitcher almost no-knows you. I get it. Sometimes that happens because you've never seen his stuff before.
He played well. He pitched well.
He pitched well.
He had some serious movement going.
He pitched very well. You've never seen him pitch before. You don't know his stuff. And the Phillies are a ball go boom type of team, so I get it. But to go back to the original point, Taijuan Walker's cooked. If you can get something out of in the bullpen, some late relief, maybe sometime in the playoffs, that will help you. But he does not need to be starting for you for the rest of the season. But I don't know who's your 5th starter.
Well, look, they had Aller going on Sunday against the Kansas City Royals. He looked good. I thought your point is taken because of the other options that you do have. Like, let's not make them out to be something that they're not. So at this point in time, you roll Taijuan Walker back out there. You hope that he pitches a little bit better, keeps the ball in the ball yard, and unfortunately did not do that. No. Alvarez goes deep 3 times. Unbelievable. Not all 3 off of Taijuan, but still.
He's very good.
Yeah, he is very good. And they took 2 of 3 against the Houston Astros, so there should be zero complaints other than the fact that people are just so negative on the timeline and have to complain about everything, and that's understood.
Yeah.
But here it is right now. You got the Braves coming in, and this is going to be, for me, for my money, this is the moment. This is the series for you to go ahead and say, enough of the conversation about the division. It's not up for grabs. We're the better team. We're going to win the division right here, right now. And oh, by the way, from this point on, start playing that championship caliber baseball that we saw in the beginning portion of the season. It's a 4-game series against the Braves. It gets started this evening, 6:40 first pitch, going down at Citizens Bank Park. Love to hear if you're heading down. Christopher Sanchez on DraftKings Sportsbook at -166 favorite. Charlie Morton and the Atlanta Braves +148 is your total. Again, the Braves have had the Phillies' way all season long. So this is the game for them, or this is the series for them to go ahead and show them what they got. 5-game lead right now in the division. Some are saying, look, a little too close for comfort. I understand that. I don't agree with it to a point because I do believe that the Phillies are a better team and will show it in this month of September. But as I said, this is a great spot for you to hey, enough of the talking. This is who we are. Watch this. Ball go boom, as you said.
Ball go. I mean, look, they had a brutal stretch, but like we all kind of saw it coming. Where it's just like I was like, if the Phillies go through that month of July playing in the beginning of August playing 500 ball, then you're good because you played such great baseball before that. That should hold everyone off. I also thought that the injuries would catch up with Atlanta. They kind of did. They kind of haven't. They're still kind of there. And what you said is 100% true. You take 3 out of 4 from this situation, Atlanta's done, and you can just kind of get yourself right, tee off on, the Nationals and a couple other people for the end part of September. I think Oakland comes in or somebody, and, get yourself ready for the playoffs because at this point, you put yourself into an interesting position, but you're still in the driver's seat. And that's the thing. Everything's in front of you. And it's a series at home, too. This is not 4 games down in Cobb. This is 4 games at Citizens Bank Park, a place where I believe you're 20 games over 500 as an organization so far this year. So, yeah, go win. I mean, its short answer is go win, go beat a team that, even when we lost these games, the Braves never seemed that much better than us. So it's just, stay in these games, go win, go gut out some stuff, have the bullpen not blow anything. And I think you're going to be in a good position. I just think it's tough now because you have to get some bodies. You have to figure out who's available. You have to figure out who can fill out some roles for you. Alvaro, how far is he going to be out for?
Yep.
What's the situation with that? Is Kirkrig going to come back and be the lights out guy that he was last year? A lot of these guys, a lot of questions. Strahm still looks great, and that's great for him. But I feel, what you're saying is 100% correct. This is the moment, and I feel that they can do it. I'm still have the anxiety of a person who knows variables are variables, but I think they can do it.
I believe the Phillies are 3-6 this season against the Atlanta Braves. Last time out, Atlanta took 2 of 3 against Philly in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So here we are, and look, as far as this game is concerned, this is the first time that these two teams are matching up in Philadelphia since March 31st.
Yeah, opening weekend.
Think about that. And they did win the last time that they played, but they did lose the first 2 games as well in that series. So love to get your thoughts. Do you have a play or 2 in tonight's game? Is there a batter that you're looking at? And again, with Charlie Morton, a pitcher going that they know very well. I wouldn't be surprised if Morton does pitch well because it is a big spot, but at the same time, lights are shining bright. It's hot down there. It's hitting season, as Charlie Manuel would say. So I think that the Phillies will put up a number here, and hopefully that is the case. All right. From the world of the MLB, we do have college football kicking off in a big way this evening. We got prime time in prime time, Adam Booth. Deion Sanders at 8 p.m. ESPN. And, it's interesting because last year, far and away, they were at least for the first 6 weeks of the season, they were the story.
Yeah.
And I think because they were winning And the expectations were the fact that they were not going to do any of that last year. And they beat TCU and they beat Nebraska. And Deion, of course, has all the stars and the celebrities on the sideline with his son playing unbelievable unbelievable football at the quarterback position for Colorado. All of that married up. Of course, Travis Hunter, he's a phenomenal talent. That's why the buzz was there. That's why the spotlight was there. And of course, it's Deion.
Yeah. I mean, it's Deion.
But
it's Deion.
I'm just trying to figure out where I want to go on tonight's game, because whether you are a fan or not, at least it is something that is grabbing your attention. It is a lightning rod conversational point, all things Colorado, all things Deion. And I think there's fault on both sides for the nonsense with the calmness and Deion and Colorado and all the above. So putting that to the side, talking about the football side of things, and everything is included with Deion too as well. I'm not naive to that. I'm wondering if I would rather see tonight the upset happen in Boulder as a 10-point dog or 10-point favorite against North Dakota State, or for the sake of, you know what, man? Like, you don't want Colorado losing in the first week of the season. No, like that kind of just deflates the whole situation with Deion. So I'm almost at the point that I don't want to see them upset. I want to see Deion have some success this year. I'm a big fan of his son, Shador. I think he's a beast. Travis Hunter very well could be top 5, definitely top 10 pick in next year's NFL draft. Like, there's so much to like, but man, it would be really fun to see an upset on Thursday Night Football tonight.
I think you will.
Oh, Adam Booth out the chute.
I think you will.
You think we have an upset this evening?
Yeah.
Are you calling money line? You calling just straight up dub by North Dakota State?
What did the kids say? Outright?
Outright.
Yeah, I say 1,000%. I think North Dakota State wins this game.
Out of here.
I don't understand why you scheduled this game. They are Appalachian State on steroids. Like, North Dakota State is a machine.
Fair.
A machine.
Yeah, when this one had to be scheduled a couple years ago.
Oh, it has to
before
be.
Deion was.
It has to be. They are a buzzsaw of that division. I don't know even if they want to go up to FBS, because it would just ruin the fact that they are just such a dominant force down in the 1AA.
Yep.
I just don't. This looks like a loss. This feels like a loss. I feel bad about it because I like Deion, and I don't want the discourse around this entire season to just be, let's take a crap on Deion, because
it will happen.
It will,
especially if he loses, because he's got the bravado as a perfect team, right?
I want to talk about other things. I want to talk about a Nick Saban-less Alabama. I want to talk about the new conference alignment. I want to talk about Cal having to play ACC games. I want to talk about UCLA going to Nebraska. Like, I want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about Deion Sanders versus the media.
If they're losing, that's what's coming our way. You're right.
I don't want that.
No, you're right.
But at the same time, I really,
it would be funny.
But it'll be funny as hell. And on top of it, it really feels like this is a game that, you're going to lose this. If it's like, God forbid this is in North Dakota, it would have been a wrap.
Yeah.
I would have been like, take the points by 1,000. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what could possibly other happen? But
up to 10, money move coming in, still on Deion and the Buffs.
Why is it only 10? I would assume in a situation where a team of this caliber, a top 5 power conference program going up against a 1AA to start the season, it's just 10.
Yeah, but you look at South Dakota State, who has won back-to-back championships down there.
Yeah.
And they're opening up in Oklahoma State, and they're a 9.5-point dog as well.
Well, and I'm glad that they are respecting the 1AA. That's really what I think it is. I'm glad they're respecting the 1AA.
There it is. Here's Deion talking about a little earlier this week how he's not getting negative or not being negative to anyone.
I'm not negative to anybody in here. I will challenge you and ask you why or where is this coming from. So I'm not built like that. I'm not built to hate. I'm not a hateful guy. I come with love. I think if anybody in here has had encounters with me, I don't come with the bull jump. I come with the peace and the joy. Now, when you show me where you stand, I might have to change that a little bit. So I'm not going to match your ignorance.
I love that. Don't match the ignorance. And then, of course, don't come with the bull junk, come with the peace. I like that. That's the bull junk is good.
There's probably a top 5 quote. Like, he's a top 5 quote
he's
in the history of sports. Like, it's just, every time he gets to the podium, it's like Charles Barkley. It's just like, he got something to say. I need to hear
Deion.
it.
I always have loved Deion. Of course, remember him from his baseball days with the Braves when he went back and forth. I remember him slightly with the Yankees a little bit there. Of course, we know all things in football and him playing for every franchise and having success with every franchise. And the fact that he's been able to do what he did in a short time up in Colorado and bring in some just awesome players that are going to be drafted extremely high. Like Shador is a stud.
Absolute stud. Absolutely. He's elite. He's elite.
And I'm wondering what he's going to look like with another year of seasoning. Like, that's where I'm at right now, because I think he could very well be. Again, that's another thing too. When you talk about the team success side of things, Deion is smart. He knows what he was lacking last year. He needed the beef up front, and I think he attacked the portal, and I would assume that he had success. There are a lot of people that want to go play for Deion.
Yep.
I know if I was a kid coming out of college, I'd be going to play for Deion, and Colorado's probably pretty fun too as well.
I've heard good things.
Yeah.
Heard good things.
All right. Off and running, a lot to chew on. Get involved in the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler, at Fox PHL Gambler. Folks, it is a game day here for us. Villanova football back in action. They're taking on Youngstown State. That game is coming your way right here on the Gambler at 5:30 pregame coverage. And, of course, always on the Villanova Sports Radio Network as well. Ryan Fann and Kevin Riley on the call. Up on the main line of Villanova and Youngstown State. John Jansen back at the studio. So we will have you covered all things Villanova football coming up at 5:30. A special show today, though, of course, having Adam in studio. Brand new X's in the U coming your way. We'll have that podcast a little bit later for your consumption at foxphlgambler.com. Definitely air it on the air as well tomorrow. But we will have it out in the timeline a little bit later today at foxphlgambler.com. John Marks, my former co-host and
my former boss
at
97.5 The Fanatic.
That is wild. I was just laughing because if he could have done it live earlier today, we recorded at 1:30. I was just going to crack up because it would have been perfect.
No, it's just 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon every single time.
Yeah, there it is. So John Marks slid through via the Gambler stream. He is now rocking with the folks over at PHLY Sports, doing great work on socials. So be sure to follow him on John Marks Media. Anyways, he stops by for a good 25-minute conversation. We get caught up on everything that's happening around the Philadelphia sports world. And, of course, we throw it back to the olden days. 10 years ago, Adam.
Don't.
10 years ago, him and I that was the last time we did a show.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it was a different planet.
I was still in college.
10 years ago, it was normal. Right? It was
a different time.
It was a different time.
It was a different time for sure.
Well, he stops by. So that's coming your way at 4:00. And then at 4:30, the big brains. Let's run it back as we got college football on our minds. Joe Tanzi, Orion Beefcoil, and Mark Henry Jr. That is coming your way, the college football show at 4:30. So we got a lot to do, only a little time on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Adam Booth sitting in for the hour. Back after this.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
Summer is the time to let loose, turn up the tunes, and share sweet moments together. And M&M's are the perfect treat for any time. Chilling by the pool, jamming at the barbecue, road trip sing-alongs, and everywhere in between. So grab a pack from your local retailer and pass them around today.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Westbound Schuylkill crawling Montgomery Drive to the Boulevard with a disabled vehicle in the center lane. Then Jan City to Belmont. Eastbound Suffolk Blue Route to Belmont, Montgomery Drive to South. 95 Jan northbound Girard to Bridge and southbound Cottman to Bridge. Ayatollah total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Labor Day weekend savings are here at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on select interior paint via Lowe's gift card rebate. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Valid through 9/4.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
Greg Karen, I'm the president and CEO of the Philadelphia Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Macy's Labor Day sale is going on now with limited time end of summer specials like great deals on back to school looks. And shop our lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and more 15 to 65% off. Or use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 20% off even more great deals. Star Rewards members can earn faster during Star Money bonus days at Macy's. Details at Macy's.com/Star Money. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
How you like your new car? Told you if you go to Philly Auto, it was no credit check. What they do? Did they ask you the question? Will you pay the car note? What you say? You said you would pay it, right? No credit check right now. Philly Auto right now. Need a car? Come and get it. PhillyAuto.com.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, and you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
iHeartRadio, let's go!
Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Lowe's knows Labor Day calls for big savings. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to $750 when you buy 2 or more select major appliances priced $396 or more. And My Lowe's Rewards members get 3 bags of premium 2 cubic foot color mulch for just $10. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. Phillies Braves. Phil's with a 5-game lead in the division. That's coming our way. 6:40 first pitch. Christopher Sanchez on the mound, getting the start for the Fightins, and hopefully it's a little bit better of a evening down at the ball yard than it was yesterday. My condolences to anybody that took time away from anything of substance to go to that game yesterday. It was hot, and they got shellacked. That was not fun.
The worst case scenario of almost getting no hit and losing by 10 runs. Like there's literally no redeeming quality of that.
I keep
game.
forgetting about the no hit.
Like that's how bad that game was. They took a no hitter into the 8th, and that wasn't the worst part of the game.
We got Adam Booth sitting in with us. Got you till 4:00 here. Other side, you'll have John Marks join me, and then we got the big brains and all things college football. Of course, few big games going down this evening. One that will be on Fox 29, and I'm plugging the Minnesota and UNC game because I will be following that on Fox 29, the fantastic sports show. So if you do tune in, make sure you check out that half an hour of great Philadelphia sports talk on Fox 29. All right, Adam, we were just discussing the golf tournament here that's taking place in the championship round for the PGA Tour. True story. I am in a pretty big tournament all season long. It's called the One and Done. Essentially, it's like Survivor, where you pick one golfer per event throughout the course of the year. And once you pick them, you can't use them. So I've already used all the great ones. So here I am, and I'm in second place, a really good purse on the other side of this. But the golfer I picked is not having the best start. Again, I'm not too worried because it's 4 rounds.
Yeah.
But I need my guy Billy Horschel to step it up here. I'm pulling for Billy Horschel in a big way.
I think one of these things is when you go through the entire roster to start with, it's when you go through your deck really early in the game and you're just like, oh man, I got to pull out these cards now. Yeah, it's a little rough.
Here's my favorite part about this. As I pulled up the scoreboard, the leaderboard here, he is currently 30th out of 30.
I mean, he's there.
He showed up.
He's there.
2 over, which isn't that bad, but oh my goodness.
Look, similar to a man by the name of Jason Tatum, he's just there to get some cardio.
That's it. And lose me money at this point in time. I can't believe he is currently in last place. That's just I give up. Whatever. 3 more rounds after this, so hopefully Billy can turn it around.
He's only 13 strokes back,
Ridiculous. Unbelievable. All right, we do have some other dumb stuff to get into, including the Philadelphia Union. What the hell is going on? What took place last night? Where are we at right now? There's like 9 games left in this season, right? I want to say 8 or 9.
Yep.
And last night, it's terrible to tune in and to realize that you're not going to win. It's been so long, like that's the issue. It's like when I tune into a Union game over the years, it's like you don't know what you're going to get. We can beat the best. So you beat Atlanta, you beat LAFC, you beat some of the great Miami. I don't think they beat Miami.
No, they beat them once.
Did they?
They did beat them once.
All
yes.
Right. Well, they always delivered.
Yeah,
for the most part. They haven't been delivering anything but L's this year, and that was tough. But here's the deal. I am also a realist where I know this season is a completely different vibe. They've been through everything in the preseason, had success. Of course, this in-season tournament, this Leagues Cup, putting that to the side now. It's like, all right, is it all hands on deck at this point?
Yeah, it's very weird now that I'm creeping into my mid-30s here, and I can now have the first moment of I remember back in the day when this team was terrible. Like I remember going to the ballpark down there in Chester and being like, man, we could get a win. This would be cool.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, what do you mean we haven't won in 3 games? Burn everything down to the ashes.
Protest
Protest everything. But no, legitimately, it's do or die moment right now. And I'm resigned to this season being a transition. I don't believe that the Union will rebuild. I don't think that's in their mantra. They're definitely a retool kind of organization because they do have a lot of elements here that are good, and they may have uncovered a couple of more shiny rocks out of nowhere. You got a guy like Ty Barbaro where you're just like, oh, random dude from Israel from a league I've never heard of, gonna play backup striker to the beautiful and talented Julian Carranza and Michelota. And then the beautiful and talented Julian Carranza is sold, and you're like, well, you have to now play, and we don't know what you can do. And he's like, I can score a lot of goals. And he actually wins the Golden Boot, most goals scored in the Leagues Cup, even though he missed a game for suspension. So think about that. So that
would have paid a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
If it took Baribo. How do you pronounce his last name?
Baribo.
I just know that would have paid a lot of money if you had that.
Oh yeah, dude, for a golden boot in the League's Cup, like absolutely insane bet if you actually even put that down. And he did it. And you might have uncovered another gem. You might have uncovered one of the better strikers in Major League Soccer by accident because you didn't know he was on your roster this whole time.
Right.
Look, I think you're going to make the playoffs because I think you're good enough. And I think when you play to the maximum of the ability, the Union are as good as probably everything other than like the top 3 to 4 teams in Major League Soccer. I don't know what you're going to do when you get there. I don't know if there's not enough time for you to get in a position where you're not just hitting the buzz saws of a, Inter Miami in the first round kind of situation where that's going to put you behind the back burner and let's see what you can do after that. But I think what's going to happen is, and I think this is good for the organization, is they're going to recognize that there are some holes in the ship. They're going to recognize that there are some places that can be addressed and filled. And when they do recognize that this team is actually going to come out better and stronger than this team was the year prior, because, you had to sell some guys because they said, hey, I'm sellable now. And we talked about this on the podcast, but, the Union don't want to be the team that holds on to guys, Like the Major League Soccer is a stepping stone league still. This is not the be all end all for anyone except for people trying to retire in Los Angeles. So if you're not one of those types of people, you probably are using MLS to get you to another level. And the way that the Union recruit, they're not going to be able to recruit on the same way as our West Coast counterparts, as New York, as Miami. So you need to make sure that your organization is as hospitable to the player as humanly possible. And when a person says, like Damian Lowe, who says, it's time for me to go, I need to go get another paycheck, please let me out, please, pretty please, with sugar on top.
And where did he go? He went to
Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Which, again, if anyone's been following soccer, everyone and their mom's going there to get the biggest paychecks of all time. So you're just like, okay, let him go, because you don't want to be the organization that told him no. Because then he's going to be like, yeah, man, the Union, man, they held me hostage. I was trying to make money for my last contract and all of that. So I think the Union, all this to say, Union are in a transition period. They'll probably make the playoffs. The draft doesn't mean that much, so not missing the playoffs is not like we need a high pick from Clemson this year. That's not moving the needle for us anymore in this league.
Well, so I apologize.
Please.
Did you say that they're not going to make the playoffs?
I think they're going to.
Yeah.
I think they're going to. I don't know what they're going to do.
Isn't it going to be hard to miss the playoffs, or am I misreading that?
It's not going to be hard.
Because currently they're a point out.
Yeah, but so long story short, it's in front of them, right?
Yeah.
It's them. It's they can make themselves not go to the playoffs more so than other people can stop them from making the playoffs. That's the best way to describe it.
Well said. And it would be disappointing if they did not make the playoffs.
No. But this year has been this year. This isn't the Union of
Put that 2 years on a T-shirt.
This year has been
this year. How do you define the Philadelphia Union? This year has been this year.
I've aged profusely. This in the last 365 days, I found so many gray hairs.
That was great. Excellent. All right. Well, again, and their next game up is
we have Red Bull on Saturday.
Nice.
The old rivalry that Red Bull doesn't consider a rivalry, but whatever. That'll be in Harrison.
Okay, so
that'll be in Harrison. Yep, up the turnpike.
All right. Again, brand new X's into you coming your way. Sebastian Letou, that man right there, Adam Booth, and Matty G will have that for you available for your consumption at foxphlgambler.com. I do want to bring this up because you did bring up money. Steph Curry, come on down. Did you see this contract?
No, please tell me.
This is the thing that I want to put out there for people, because I don't think people are understanding what's coming their way from NBA contracts in 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
It's starting. It did start, but it's already there. Steph Curry just signed a 1-year extension for $62 million. 1 year. He is now the third NBA player, along with LeBron and Kevin Durant, to pass $500 million in career earnings. So the big picture that I want to paint for everybody is in 2030. Like that is going to be essentially the going rate for one season of play for the great ones, for the great players. Not everyone's making, $62 million. Holy hell, man.
Yeah.
Holy hell. All I know, and this kind of is like the old get off my lawn, the old man. Like these guys should never say a bad word about any of the NBA players of yesteryear. Like the Anthony Edwards comment, dude, like, no, don't say that. Because if it wasn't for the plumbers and the painters, you're not making $62 million to play the game that you love. And they deserve every penny. That's great. But man, what are we doing here? That's so much money for playing one season of whatever sport you want to throw my way. Unbelievable.
What if he gets hurt?
Yeah.
No,
sure.
Like realistically though, I get why Shaq's mad.
Right.
Like I get.
Oh God, yeah.
I understand
Barkley
wholeheartedly why Shaq is yelling at Joel Embiid to get in the paint. I get this because he is saying, "Do you know what I could have made in your league by just putting my butt in the paint and sitting down?" And it is. Look. My favorite example of this, and I'm getting old now, so this example isn't even as relevant as it used to, because what you just said is about half of the salary of my example that I always use. It was Mike Connolly's deal, with the Memphis Grizzlies, where someone paid him $151.
The highest paid player in the game at one point.
$151 million for Mike Connolly.
Correct.
No disrespect to the man at all.
Just the reality.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
That was years ago. That was always my like, hey, this thing is a little bizarre now, and I think we all really need to take inventory of what's about to happen. And even so, a couple years ago when the Sixers dropped 26 million in one season just for JJ Redick, for a singular season of JJ Redick, they were putting $26 million on the table. I'm like, man, if I'm Allen Iverson, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. Allen Iverson could have gone to so many days at TGI Fridays with these contracts now. He could have bought a TGI Fridays.
$62 million for one season of action.
82 games. You're not playing all 82.
And that's on the floor. That's not anything else. That's not shoe. That's not endorsement.
He plays in California.
Okay,
that's a lot of Texas.
Yeah, got that.
That's it.
Well,
other than that, he plays. I mean, like, so that's probably what, like $38 million when it comes out to that. But still.
Hey, look, SGA, you're looking at Luka, all of those guys, Anthony Edwards, they're all going to be making that in 2030. And look, the NBA,
Tyrese Maxey.
The NBA has agreed to that new media deal where it was over $76 billion, if I'm not mistaken on the number there. So it's understood. Get what you can. But at the same time, man, like I look back at those guys and I would say, I'm not saying a negative word about Magic Johnson, the era of Michael Jordan or the 80s or no.
Magic got his, though. I will, in all respect, it's not like Magic out here hurting financially.
Every penny, though.
Yeah, Magic Johnson's not. I'll give Isaiah Thomas before I'm out here saying Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson owes movie theaters.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, but also, it's just like you can buy, like, these guys have to invest now. Like, the way that LeBron's investing in literally everything. What else are you going to do with that level of money? You might as well buy vineyards. You might as well buy movie studios.
Kevin Durant.
You might as well invest in literally anything you're bored in.
It'd just be nice if he could name us.
Yeah,
and know that he's got money on the Philadelphia.
No, but he just bought another soccer team.
Yeah, the PSG.
Yeah, so wait, that's not we are not a priority anymore.
Nope.
There's no way in the world of soccer we are not Kevin Durant's priority.
Adam, great hour, quick hour. You'll get more of Adam Booth tomorrow right here on The Gambler and later tonight at foxphlgambler.com. Plug something, please. You always got something.
Oh, man. Your favorite Frisbee team, the Philadelphia Phoenix.
You know what I want to give a plug to if I could?
Please.
Johnny Goodtimes.
Johnny Goodtimes. Yes.
Right?
My boss the quiz master of Philadelphia himself.
Dude, I watched Phillies Nation over the weekend.
Yeah.
It was a great interview between Wheeler and why am I
Scott?
No. Oh, I'm trying to blank. I hate myself right now. Oh, Greg Murphy.
Greg Murphy.
Sean, what's the matter? And I
Yeah.
love Greg. Great dude. So and I'm watching it, and next thing you know, the Shibe runs through and
Yeah.
Shibe Sports, and it was a great little bit about this I forget who's like a drug dealer who made it in Philadelphia sports, and like everything that Shibe brings to the table. And man, Johnny's a great dude. So nice work there.
Look, Johnny's the man. Shibe Sports is great. If any person who loves Philadelphia sports, you go into the Shibe, every part of you is tickled. It's like going into like a museum to Philadelphia sports. You got Oakland Athletics gear. You got Philadelphia Thunderbirds gear, like all of this stuff that
The
you're
stoners.
like, you're like, I had no idea these people existed.
Yes.
And Johnny's there, like, I got a whole backstory for you.
Yes.
So shout out to Mr. Good Times.
Yeah, man. Nice work. Sorry, I hijacked your
No. But yeah, no, Philadelphia Phoenix. He is the principal investor of the Philadelphia Phoenix. So shout out to him. That's called synergy right there. And everyone just have a good end to the summer and be nice to each other.
Amen. Well said, Adam Booth. All right, coming up next, you'll hear John Marks. He joined me a little earlier today. We got you for that. That's coming up on the other side. Then at 4:30, the big brains on all things college football. I love UNC tonight. -2 at this point in time. If you listen to this program, you would have got +2 last week. Shout out to Mark Henry Jr. on that one. Love UNC this evening. And why not? Let's go with North Dakota State to keep it close. All right. Adam Booth says he likes them. We're going to take North Dakota State on the road in Boulder. Once again, I'll be live following North Carolina and Minnesota on Fox 29. Fantastic sports show. So make sure you tune in there. And then back tomorrow, brand new Daily Ticket. Labor Day weekend, everyone. Go Phils. Don't go anywhere. More Daily Ticket after this.
If you can wager on it, we're talking about it. It's the Gambler.
Of course, we just had the appetizer last week. Now it's time to feast. College football